You're watching Fem Chef FGC. Like and subscribe to my favorite gladiator on the Citadel.
I lost to a Jamie pretty badly in TNS this week. And afterwards, I realized that I really hadn't labbed and figured out what the actual situation was off of his different rekka options. So I went into the lab today, and I'm hoping this lab work is helpful to somebody else, because in my experience talking to other Marissa players, a lot of them were just like, I don't actually know what Jamie does. So I'm just going to make a new recording here real quick to demonstrate. Jamie has two different rekkas, and they're 3 hits. The first hit is always the same. Then he has a punches version. You can do 2 hits or you can do 3 hits. He also has a kicks version after the first hit, where he can do 2 hits. Or he can do 3 hits and get a drink. So what is the actual situation? Hang on, let me erase that recording so I don't get confused. There we go. All right, what is the actual situation off of each of these? I thought he was safe if he only did the first hit, and he's not. He's -6. However, you are too far away to get like the drive reversal punish. That'll whiff. Same for the medium punch. So yeah, you can just do 1 jab, but I think the better option is just to do the stand light punch target combo. But weirdly, it actually pushes you out too far to get the ender that'll leave him close to you. That'll whiff too. So if you don't want to spend more meter, you're forced to just end with Gladius, which pushes him really far away from you to where you won't get Oki. So if you have the meter to spend and you're just spamming single hit, I would be doing this. And get an actual good combo with Oki by spending the drive bars on the extensions. Now, what if he does the first 2 hits? Like that. Well, for one thing, it's a block string. If I try to mash a jab in between, nothing comes out. If you block it, he's -11, which means you can punish with back heavy punch, you can punish with forward medium punch, but there's no way to perfect parry the second hit because it's a block string. There's no way to DI the second hit because it's a block string. If you had done DI preemptively, then yeah, it'll work, but that's like the hardest of reads, and I really wouldn't do that. You can just punish after you block it. The problem is, if he does all 3 hits, then the third hit is a frame trap. So if I try to mash even a 4 frame after the second hit, I get hit. So then what can you do about the third hit? Well, on block, the third hit is -15, so you can actually punish with stand heavy punch. I thought that was safe too, and it's not. It's extremely not. You can also perfect parry the third hit, and it's surprisingly easy to do. And then you can actually punish with a fully charged back heavy punch. And it's not hard to perfect parry at all. There's a lot of wind up. It's very visually distinct. You just have to be ready for it. You can also DI the third hit if you mash DI after the second hit. And it'll be punish counter. But that's again where if he were just stopping after the second hit, and then you just threw out a DI, he can counter DI. So the mix is, am I going to do the third hit and put you in a frame trap situation, or am I only going to do 2 hits and leave myself punishable? If I'm going to do the third hit, then are you going to react with perfect parry? Are you going to react with DI? I believe Marissa could also do some armor options for that third hit. No. Okay, non-OD stance does not come out in time. Neither does non-OD Gladius. OD is an option. But you're then taking the same risk as a DI, really, in terms of your drive meter if he doesn't continue and he just throws you out of it. I think the safest option is probably to wait and perfect parry the third hit, but you've got to notice the habits of the Jamie that you're fighting. Then what about the second rekka? The kick rekka. This one. That's the first 2 hits. Second hit, -15. Punish, stand heavy punch. Or perfect parry it. Also pretty easy to perfect parry. Of course, now I'm gonna... I'm getting distracted by my cat yelling in the background. And you can punish that with a fully charged back heavy punch. And because the first 2 hits is a block string when it's the punch version, tapping parry is actually completely safe there, because if he does the punch version, then it won't come out. It's only unsafe if he's only doing the first hit. But the first hit is still where he's -6 on block. So that's a huge risk for him to do that in the first place. If he's doing the kick one, you can DI immediately after the first hit, but you have to know that he keeps going for that. That is also where it won't come out if he did the punch version. But if he's just doing the single hit to try to bait you into responding, assuming it's going to be a full rekka, it's a problem. And then the last one is the 3-hit kick where he gets a drink. And you can DI the drink. You can actually interrupt it with a 4-frame before it even happens. I think you can get that punish there. Yeah, I'm just not doing it fast enough. Because that should be comboing. There it is. If you think he's just gonna go for the risky drink, but he probably won't. You can also just perfect parry the drink. And then he won't actually get the drink, you interrupt it. So, in summary, it's a 3-hit rekka. Even the first hit is extremely punishable on block. It is not safe on block. You could still punish with stand jab. They get progressively more punishable as he goes along. But on the punch one, he can frame trap between the second and third hits. So you have to be aware of that. He's much, much more punishable on the kick one, but he's unlikely to go for that unless it was a hit confirmed, because trying to get a drink on block is really, really risky. I am really glad that I allowed this, personally. I feel a lot less confused in this matchup, and I feel like the next time a Jamie just starts spamming rekka on my block, I'm gonna have some idea of what my options are. In particular, perfect parrying that third hit feels so doable. And even off perfect parry, even off perfect parry scaling, you can still do 40%. If you found this helpful, drop a like, a comment, a sub. I know this is kind of informal content because I just started as personal lab work, but I thought somebody else might find it helpful. So if you found it helpful, let me know.
Where are you going? Before hitting like and subscribe,